now, but what's everybody? This is the Deuce and Tika show. Mine is Deuce because it's all about me today, the wifey. So I'm in the car right now. I'm in our truck trying to film a video just because see, I should have did this before. Should have got right before. But if you hear any noise, any background noise, just know that it's probably nature, probably the trees. Yeah, trees talk, huh? Only I would say something like that. But anywho, it's just me today filming in the car, like I said, because there's no kids out here, and I don't have to hear mom, 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 mom every 5 seconds. So I just came to y'all to talk a little bit about what's been, eat candy and all of that. It might be a little warm in here, so I'm gonna have to roll the windows down a little bit so I don't die in the car today. But I came to y'all, and I hope y'all can see me pretty okay, to talk about, I feel like, a topic that is very popular, but I feel like a lot of people are kind of shamed into even speaking about it on a personal level, if they're going through it, if they've been through it, or if they know someone close to them that has suffered from, postpartum depression in general, anxiety, and postpartum anxiety. Believe it or not, postpartum anxiety is real. Anxiety period is real. Mental health is extremely important. I feel like if you don't take care of what's in here, everything is out of place. Everything is affected. In here, for me, if this is not okay, in here, the way that I operate, the way I move, the way I parent my children, the type of partner I am to my spouse, the type of friend I am, and everything is affected when this is not okay. I'm sorry, I might have to start the car because I'm getting a little hot in here, and this video will be horrible. You just see me dripping down sweat. So let me just turn this AC on real quick for y'all so we can get comfortable in here. Okay, you hear me? Let me close this sunroof also, because it is too, your girl, look, I can't be sweating everywhere. Okay, I need to no, not today. So anywho, let's get right back to it. I had a baby. For many of you who don't know, and a lot of you do know, but I had a baby. Next month it'll be a year. September 28th, my little fat mama turns 1. She was due in November, but I had her 6 weeks early, and it was quite surprising for that. That came out of nowhere, unexpectedly. But like I said, that was a difficult pregnancy. I went through a lot, and that's a whole nother video, because I was sick all the time. I didn't really gain weight when I was pregnant with her. It was hard to eat, it was hard to sleep, it was hard to just be myself in my own body. And honestly, I couldn't wait to have her, because I felt like, well, once I have her, I'll feel like me again. I'll be back to my normal self. I'll be okay. There was a lot of tears shedded during that pregnancy. It was a lot. So once I had her, I'm sorry y'all, because I had candy in my mouth. That's so rude. But once I had her, those first couple of days, everything seemed to be okay inside. I felt like I started to feel like myself again, at least so I thought. But it was difficult. I had experienced something that I had never experienced before. She had to stay in the NICU for 13 days. So leaving the hospital 2 days after having her and having to leave her there was something I had never personally experienced before myself. So that was difficult. And I don't want to say that's what caused or started the beginning of my, like, maybe, I don't want to say downward spiral, but emotionally I kind of started to feel a little checked out, if that makes sense. I wasn't tired. It wasn't that I wasn't eating enough or anything. I just feel like I started to feel things that I had never felt before. And so when I say that, it's like I'm reading up a lot on it, and I've heard other women talk about it. So I think that I feel like this is probably what my issue is. But before I start talking about that, let me go back to, I had my 6-week checkup, postpartum checkup with her, And when I went to see my OB, there was a questionnaire. I don't remember. I think it was like 15 questions on that. And if you scored a 14, I believe it was a 14 or more, you suffer from postpartum depression. I scored a 9 out of 14. So that was a little concerning for her, because it was like, well, we want to be proactive and kind of like check this before it gets out of hand, because I know there's some people that go a lot deeper. I thank God never had feelings of hurting myself or my child or children at all, but it was difficult. Imagine trying to care for a newborn, and I was breastfeeding, and your body doesn't feel right, your mind doesn't feel like in place, it doesn't feel okay. And so this is my first time like openly talking about it to a lot of people, because I tend to be an extremely private person. It takes a whole lot for me to open up. There's people that have known me for years that probably don't even really know me for reals, to be honest with you, because that's the type of person I am. But here in the last couple of months, and I haven't shared it a lot with a lot of people, only a few people know this, but I started to have feelings of like my life is ending soon. Like, it's almost scary to say it out loud again, God forbid, but excuse me, like I'm gonna die soon. And excuse me, I don't know if this is, I guess we don't know, right? We never know. But I felt like, started to feel like, and it's not as bad now, but sometimes I still feel that way, that my life is ending. And I don't know, I think I heard that's a part of postpartum anxiety. But the first couple months I didn't experience that. I just felt an overwhelming sense of sadness, like, but I couldn't put my finger on the reason why. So that, to me, I know when I went to get my 6-week checkup and I filled out the questionnaire and I was as honest as I could be, she prescribed medication for me, and she told me, take this for 6 months, let's give it a month and see how you're feeling. If she said you're gonna feel worse before you feel better, that's normal. But her suggestion was to do not, whatever you do not just stop taking it cold turkey. That's not a good idea. Me being myself, I did take it for a few months. I did feel worse at first, and I did just stop taking it. However, I feel like when I was taking it, I don't even remember the name of it. When I was taking it though, it made me emotionless. I feel like there's situations and things that would happen that would normally trigger a emotional response for me, that I could not even produce tears. Like, I could feel inside that I had this urgency to cry, I guess, but nothing would come out. So that kind of scared me a little bit and freaked me out, because I had never experienced that before. And that made me feel like, I don't know if I want to continue taking this, because I'm not sure if I like feeling like that. So I eventually stopped taking it. I know. I stopped taking it. But the feelings that I have sometimes, and mind you, this is not every day, but they did not just go away. So I feel like as I get older, I've noticed myself being an introvert a little more than I used to when I was younger. But I feel like I isolate myself so much. Like, I feel the extreme need to not want to be around a lot of people, not want to be bothered with too many people. Sometimes you can call my phone and I'll see you calling and I won't pick it up. And honestly, like, this is just me saying how I feel, how I've been feeling, for those who don't know, and also for my loved ones who do reach out to me, or who do check on me, or who do talk to me on a regular basis. Sometimes if I don't answer the phone, it's never personal, because if anything's personal, you would know. But it's just because it's me trying to battle the feelings that I have within, and I don't even know how to fully express them even still. So making this video, I'm sorry if it's all over the place, because it's gonna be all over the place, but that's how my mind works. My mind is always all over the place. So but sometimes I'll see friends and family calling and I won't answer. A lot of them, like people that are really close to me, my mom, my sister, they'll text me, because they don't, like, they already know me enough to not take it personally. But I feel like I don't want to be bothered with the outside world a lot. It's like I'm almost like I want to stay stuck in a bubble. I don't want to talk too much about my life or my personal issues or my personal business. Sometimes I could just be sitting there and I have an overwhelming sense of sadness, And it's almost like I can't escape those feelings. Like, I had a few people like on Instagram when I was just being open. It's crazy how sometimes you can be open to strangers faster than your loved ones. I guess just because you don't have to worry about the fear of judgment. But I've been going through so much. And one, she's such a sweetheart. She said, what are you doing to help yourself come out of feeling the way you feel? Like, you alone. Aside from being a wife, aside from being a mother, aside from being a daughter, a friend, what are you doing? What do you like to do? I had one of my other friends, my closest friend, we've been friends since 8th grade. She said she had an appointment with her therapist, and her therapist asked her, who are you? And it's crazy because I've thought that question in my head so many times, and I'm like, you know what? I wonder how many people for real would know how to answer that. If someone were to come up to you, or if someone in your life asked you who you are, who would you say you are outside of, if you're a mother being a mother, if you're a wife being a wife, a friend, a sister? Who are you at your core? And I feel like right now I'm peeling back the layers, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. I feel like when I was drifting the most, I wouldn't get dressed. Sometimes I wouldn't brush my hair for days. I never went days without showering or brushing my teeth, because that right there is just like, I don't want to smell my body smelling like so I could still do those things, but I would go sometimes days without looking in the mirror, like without looking at myself. And then my kids, they have seen me break down, they have seen me cry so much. I feel like more than anyone probably in my life in the last 2 years or so. And it's hard because they don't know what postpartum depression is so much, but they've heard the term a lot, and they know that means mommy doesn't feel her best. And when you're responsible for other lives and you're taking care of them, they deserve to have the best of you. So when you're not feeling yourself and you're not feeling okay, don't be afraid to say that to people. Don't be afraid to seek some type of help. Don't be afraid to reach out, because the people around you, especially your children when they're minors, they need you the most. They need the best of you. You need you the most, And for so long, all I seen was darkness when I would look at the end of the tunnel. I felt like I'm never going to be okay again. I'm not going to be normal. I'm not going to come out of this. What will help me? What will help me? One thing is, I started to make myself, not every day, but most days, get dressed, put some actual clothes on, not pajamas. And this is what, like 7 something at night right now, so y'all get me at the end of the day, okay? So I don't look my best right now, but brush my hair. If I want to, put on a little bit of makeup. I'm not a heavy makeup wearer, get my nails done. I used to love to get my nails and toes done. Started doing that again, even with the whole stuff going around. I'm just being extra cautious and safe for myself and people around me. I got a membership at the gym and said, you know what, I'm gonna make myself go 3 times a week. So far, I have either been there 3 times a week, or I have made sure to work out 3 times. But I told myself I'm gonna be more cautious of what I'm putting in my body, because I feel like that's a part of it right there. Not eating properly. Sometimes I won't eat for hours. Sometimes I'll forget that if I ate in that day until later on at night, which is not good, especially when you're nursing. Vitamins are crucial. I'm supposed to take every day. There are certain ones. I was neglecting that as well. I was starting to feel like I'm just a person wasting away. It's probably the best way I could put it. I felt out of place. I felt like there was no space for me on this earth. I felt like I was just disappearing, and inside is where it started first. And I felt like, well, what am I supposed to do? And I knew it was getting bad when I felt like I'm not even really concerned about leaving my kids here. And I feel like I don't want to cry, because I'm trying to come up out of all this now, and I've been working really hard at doing that. But I feel like when we bring children into this world, you don't have the right to just check out. You don't have the right to say, oh well, if I die, it is what it is. You don't have the right to. But that is the power of mental illness, and that's how strong it can be, and that's how serious it is. So a lot of people are shamed for it. A lot of people are made fun of or made to feel bad. But postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety, depression, anxiety, PTSD are things that we have no control over. People are always walking around, if I had this house, I wouldn't be depressed. If I drove this car, or if I made this hourly wage, I wouldn't be depressed. Depression does not come from that. Depression comes from a chemical imbalance in your brain, which is why sometimes it has to be treated with medication and or therapy. A combination of both sometimes, one or the other, is what will help, because that chemical imbalance that's in your brain has to be balanced out. It has to be leveled out. So no, I would never choose to be depressed in any way. I've had a lot of traumatic things happen in my life, and I felt like I beat them. I came up on the other side. I was okay afterwards. But what I have also learned is that if you don't deal with what is haunting you, it's always going to come back up, and it's a revolving door, and it's a cycle, and God keeps putting you through those things until you see what he's trying to show you. And for me, my goal is to spread light and love, and just one day to the next. I tell everyone close to me right now, I have today is what, August 24th. Right now, in the moment, I'm going to focus on right now, today. I'm going to focus on being my best self today, and God willing, I wake up tomorrow, I will try my best to be better tomorrow than I am right now. But it's one step at a time. It's one day at a time. Believe me when I say postpartum depression is real, postpartum anxiety is real, PTSD is real, and I do plan to make a follow-up video from this to go deeper into my actual symptoms, my actual feelings, what actually I have suffered from in my mind. But I just want to get this out to let you guys know that we plan to be back and better than before, and we're trying to get ourselves back on track. There's been a lot going on, and bear with me because I'll have 4 kids at home with me doing this virtual learning, and pray for me. I will take all prayers, all positivity my way. I love you guys so much, and I will be back, like I said, with a follow-up video. If you guys have any questions, comments, suggestions for anything I talked about in this video, feel free to leave them down in the comment section down below. I will read everything. I will consider everything, and I will talk to you guys soon. Until then, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.